Hey guys, Ethan here with Terminal.com, and today this video is going to be a quick look at how to tell whether or not your system is vulnerable to the new ghost bug that was just announced recently, and if it is, what to do about it. So I'm going to show you this on two different types of servers. The ghost bug was found to affect several different versions of Linux operating systems, but among them some of the big ones are CentOS, Debian, some of the Red Hat enterprise Linux systems, and Ubuntu. And these really fall into two different categories in terms of what commands you're going to run in order to update and check the whole system. So I'm going to show you on a standard brand new Ubuntu 12.04 server, and then I've just got CentOS 6 as well. So we'll run tests on both of these to determine whether or not this can be an issue for us. Alright, so starting here on the Ubuntu server, this is just a brand new Ubuntu 12.04. Haven't done anything to it yet, but if you're running this for whatever server you're running, you're going to want to follow these steps as well. So I'm going to come over here and just create a new file. We'll call it ghosttest.c, and we're going to fill this with some C code. Now, in the blog post we wrote on this subject, you'll be able to find the contents of this file. You just want to copy it, paste it, and then save this. Then we want to come over to the command line, and we're going to run a quick update and ensure that we have a compiler which we can use to turn this into a command, a runnable command. So we want to run apt-get update and then apt-get install GCC, which is the compiler we're going to use. Now this will go ahead and run itself through, and when it's done, we're going to go ahead and compile this. Alright, so we're back and everything's been installed, updated, and what we want to do next is just compile the file we created into a runnable command. So we do that by typing GCC, then the file path to the file we created. -O, and then the name of the command that we want it to be saved as. So I'm just going to call this test. You could call it ghost test. You could call it whatever you like. When that's done, all we have to do is type /test, and it will run this program. And you can see right here, it says we're vulnerable. So that's basically checking the software that the server is running against the requirements of the ghost vulnerability. If we're vulnerable, updating is pretty easy. All we have to do is run a couple of commands. We're going to start with apt-get clean and then apt-get upgrade. After that's done running, we're going to run apt-get dist upgrade, which will actually update the kernel, and we're going to follow that by rebooting the system. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and run another upgrade. And the final step is to simply reboot the system. And now that it comes back, we can simply open up our command line, run test again, and we should see now that we are not vulnerable. And you can do the same thing here on the CentOS and Red Hat machines. The syntax is just a little bit different. I'm going to start off by creating the same file we just created a second ago. So ghosttest.c, copy and paste the code into that file and save it. And because I know that this doesn't have a compiler on it, I'm going to run the update and install the compiler, but instead of using apt-get, I'm going to use the yum command. So yum update && yum install GCC. And that's going to do the exact same thing as the commands on the Ubuntu system. It will update and then install our compiler for us, at which point we'll be ready to test and see if we're vulnerable. And if we are vulnerable, we'll go ahead and update the system. Now that we've got our compiler, We just use the same command as in the other demo, gcc, then the file path of the file we created. So home/ghost test.c -o, and then the name of the command we'd like to tie to it. So we'll just call it test. And then we simply run test. It tells us we are not vulnerable, and there's nothing left to do. So this particular install is not vulnerable. That's because we've updated a lot of our snapshots on terminal. But if it were vulnerable, the fix is very similar to the fix for Ubuntu. You simply change the apt-get command to the yum command, and it's almost exactly the same from there. So it would be yum clean all and yum update, followed by a reboot. And that's it, guys. If you follow these protocols, you're gonna protect your servers from this new ghost bug, which is important. It's a bad one, so get out there, fix it. Hope this was helpful. Feel free to comment. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see. And until next time, get out there and create something awesome. Thanks for watching.